So we've found sounds, we've discussed ways to make them musical. Now it's time to create music. A lot of people think creativity is about having pure freedom, but I think it really comes from solving problems and overcoming obstacles. When I have complete freedom, I really struggle to make any decisions at all. There are just too many options. And making music is really just a matter of making and committing to countless decisions, big and small. So to help us be creative with our new sounds, I've set up some limitations. Do your best to stay within these confines, but if you feel inspired and the music is asking for something beyond our guidelines, do it. The real goal of this project is to create music. Our parameters are just constructs to help us reach that goal. So follow these guidelines as much as you need to create music and break the rules when the music calls for it. One of the best limitations is time, and that's already built into the speedrun challenge. We have a deadline. You could get more specific, though, by allowing yourself limited amounts of time for different stages of your song. Maybe 20 minutes for beat making, 20 minutes to come up with a chord progression, or just 1 hour of mixing. This can really help you focus your work on what's important and move on when time is up. Try to work with an 8-track count maximum. Can you make a song with only 8 tracks? This will help you focus only on the most important elements in your song instead of getting lost spending hours working on a tiny piece of ear candy. If you want to cheat this a little, you could consider creating submixes of certain sounds. For example, if I have 3 percussion tracks, I could bounce those all to 1 track. The benefit of working like this is I've freed up 2 tracks, but by bouncing them, I've now also committed to them, so I can't change them anymore, and therefore I have to move forward in the songwriting process. When we went out collecting sounds, it involved a lot of chance and coincidence. We're basically going with the flow with whatever is happening around us. So as you create the song, try to go with the flow as much as possible. Make this a bit of a theme in your music making. Embrace mistakes and happy accidents, as well as randomness and chance. Let me show you a couple of workflows that you could try. All right, so I've got this drum rack that I created using the sounds I found around the beach, and I'm going to use one of Live's sequencers. You can download the sequencers pack from ableton.com, and I'm going to use the rhythmic steps. So we can just simply draw in some patterns using push or our mouse, and we've got a kind of probabilistic thing depending on how high these bars go, and I can make all these different sounds trigger however I want. But one of my favorite things are these random dices. So I can just click on these and start getting these patterns at random. And we can go into this alternate here and throw in some more randomization. And just like that, I've got a random rhythm going on, and it's pretty quick and easy, and we can just switch them out as much as we want. We can cancel them out if we like, build new ones, or just drum them in by hand. I'm just going with the flow with this. I'll create a new MIDI clip and we'll go into Live's generators. And I'm going to pick these stacks here to make ourselves some chord progressions. And just by scrolling around, and again, I'm not thinking too hard about this. I'm just putting a few things in, and we'll add another chord here. And just playing around with whatever we get. And let's just hear that. So now I've got 2 chords just like that. Without, again, much thinking about it, I'm just going in and letting chance take over. So maybe I'll take this clip and make it twice as long so each chord lasts for a bar. Turn up our beach a little bit. And from here, I can add some effects. So maybe I'll take Live's auto pan and I'll set this up in a way that we get a tremolo sound. We'll set this rhythmically and maybe change the shape here. And that sounds like this. I will right-click this and do bounce to new track. So this is going to create an audio track now with that MIDI right there that we had before, which is pretty cool. And from here, I can do all kinds of stuff to manipulate it. Just maybe I'll drop it down a whole octave. We get a kind of nice feeling to this now that we didn't have before. We'll play that with our rhythm. And now, like, I might be thinking, like, this could use something a little solid and steady, so maybe I'll just look for a kick drum to find, and I'm not going to think too hard about this. We'll just pick a nice short kick like that. I'll take this kick here and I'll put it on this drum rack right up here. And maybe I'll program a MIDI clip that has this kick playing on the quarter notes just so we get a nice thump, and I can play this. And now I've got a kick and all this other percussion stuff happening, and I'm starting to get like a bit of an idea flowing, just like that. And I haven't really given this too much thought. I'm just having fun and playing around. And I might do that with some of the other instruments I've created. I can use, again, these MIDI generators. They're a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do something like shape and just draw in a shape here. And we'll fold it to the scale. Now I've just got a musical idea that I can play around with and start to build from. I'm letting it happen organically and just going with the flow and having fun. I think that should be plenty of limitations. Time is our limitation. 8-track count limit. And the theme of going with the flow, letting things evolve organically and naturally. Once you're done with your song, upload it so other people can hear it. Tell the story of where you got your sounds and what you did to those sounds. Go into detail. The more we know about your sounds, the more we can connect with and enjoy the details and the work that went into your music. If you're feeling generous, you can upload your sounds for other people to use in their work. But most importantly, have fun. The thing I really hope this speed run brings you is a sense of adventure, play, and joy in the music making process. Sometimes we take our art so seriously and we can get really stressed out about how it turns out. For this project, think of it as a giant experiment. Enjoy yourself. Remember, we call it playing music, not working music. So have fun, and that fun will come through in the music. Good luck.